Hi, welcome to Tammy's Tiny Tots Reborns. So, I thought I would show you this little guy and change him while I talk to you and show you. I picked up one thing while I was away. I ended up going away this weekend. It was an awful weekend again. So, I'll tell you my story as I take this off him. That's why his hair is a mess. I took him with me when I went away this weekend. So we went Saturday, we got up Saturday, and John said, why don't we go to Peterborough and visit Gloria at the hospital? And I said, okay. So we left Saturday. I took a pair of pajamas and my toothbrush and my hairbrush and deodorant. And we left and went to Peterborough. We were only going to go down, visit Gloria, sleep overnight at Jerry's, Aunt Jerry's, and Uncle Randy's, and then we were going to come right back home. Well, that's not what happened. So I didn't take a change of clothes with me at all, because I was not expecting to spend more than just the one night. So we get there Saturday. We got to the hospital just in time, actually, because when we got to the hospital, we were told that Gloria was being transferred. See, Gloria's not from Peterborough. She just happened to get sick in Peterborough. And so she's from Orangeville. And so they finally, after 2 weeks of her being at the Peterborough hospital, decided to transfer her to the Orangeville hospital so that she could be closer to home for her for her to be staying in the hospital. She's going to be in a while longer. She's getting better, and she's been better, but she's still in the hospital, still not doing the greatest. So they decided to transfer her. So we got there. We got to visit Gloria. Everything was great. She's was happy to see us, and because Peterborough is only 3 hours from us here, and going all the way to Orangeville is quite a bit farther. So going to Orangeville is not an easy option for John and I, because it's a lot farther of a drive and everything, So anyways, we go and visit Gloria, and we got there, John's dad and uncle was sitting there with Gloria. We visited for a little while. I took him in the hospital. Gloria loves these dolls, so she was sitting cuddling it, and this was the cutest story ever. She's cuddling the baby on the bed, just holding them and checking them out and stuff. And the cleaner came in and was cleaning her bathroom. Well, when the cleaner came out to empty the garbage cans on Gloria, Gloria's garbage can and then her roommate's garbage can, that she saw the baby in Gloria's arms, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's a new one. And she's like, all how tiny the baby is and all that jazz. So I ended up telling her, well, it's actually, it's a doll. And she was like, oh wow, and she couldn't believe it, and everything, right? And I asked her if she wanted to hold it. She was like, no. She just didn't feel comfortable. So that was fine. So then she's like, I'm going to go get my partner, because I guess they clean in they're like a cleaning team. There's 2 of them in each cleaning team. And so she's like, I'm going to go get my partner and bring him back and trick him and with your doll. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I sat there and held him for, till she came back. She brought her partner back, and he couldn't believe that it wasn't real. He was like, holy. And then the other cleaner ended up holding him. She was like, well, can I hold him? Like, now I kind of want to try it. So I said, yeah, and I gave her to him, and she held him. and she was like totally shocked by him. Everyone at the nurses station was checking him out and stuff like that. And some people had actually heard of them before, so it was kind of cool. So anyway, after we left the hospital and we went back to Aunt Jerry's and to have dinner and spend the night. And then we were going to head home in the morning because Gloria left the hospital and headed to Orangeville at 8:30 that night. So we weren't going to be able to see her again before we headed home on the Sunday. So we were going to just leave first thing in the morning because we were hoping to be back home in time to go to Bible study on Sunday night. Well, we get back to Aunt Geraldine's and Uncle Randy's, and we're all just sitting around. We were there a bit later than everyone else, so they had already all had dinner. So John and I grabbed something to eat of the leftovers, and so we're just hanging out. And the guys went downstairs to watch the hockey game. He had a sparkle just in his hair from that tissue paper from his box opening. So the guys went downstairs to watch the hockey game, and all of a sudden John's dad says to him, he's like, I'm not feeling so good. I feel like I'm having... Now, John's dad 16 years ago had a triple bypass surgery on his heart. Oh, this is what I'm putting on him. It's a Ralph Lauren outfit. It's got little teddy bears on it. Peas on the teddy bear shirts. Yeah, so it's a Ralph Lauren cute outfit. It says it's 6 months, but... So, he said to John, I almost feel like I'm having a heart attack. And John swore at him, told him to, off. And, thinking he was, joking around. And Dad's like, no, man, I'm serious. I'm not feeling so great. And then John's like, well, do you want me to take you to the hospital? And his dad's like, well, I'm just going to go out and get some fresh air and see if I feel any better. So they went outside. And, of course, they call it fresh air, but they went outside to smoke cigarettes. And it's not really fresh air, but anyway. So anyway, he comes back in, and he still wasn't feeling the best, but then he decided he just needed to get some sleep. So he decided to go to bed. Well, as soon as John's dad went to bed, John looked at me and he says, you know what, I'm going to go to bed too, just in case Dad decides later, that he wants to go to the hospital or something. Just in case, So I'm like, okay. And John's Uncle Randy, he decided he was going to bed. And so they all went to bed, and Aunt Jerry and I sat up, and we were just sitting on the couch, just chit-chatting. And about an hour or so had gone by, and John's dad comes upstairs, and he's like standing there got his coat on, he's all dressed, and he said, where's Johnny? And I said, he went downstairs to bed. And he goes, oh, where's Randy? And we said, he went to bed. And he goes, oh. And he looks at me and he says, I think I need to go to the hospital. And I said, okay, and I instantly jumped up, ran downstairs, and said to John, woke John up and said, your dad wants to go to the hospital. And John's like, okay. And he jumps out of bed, and he didn't even have his pants off. He went to bed with his pants on. He took his belt off, but he had his pants on. So he jumped up out of bed and started putting his belt on real fast, and then got all the stuff back into his pockets, and then upstairs he went to take his dad to the hospital. So he took his dad to the hospital, and this was Saturday night. I guess it was first thing Sunday morning, technically, because it was midnight. And they get him to the hospital and everything, and then I found out about 4 o'clock in the morning that his dad had had a mild heart attack. So they kept him in all day Sunday in the hospital due to the mild heart attack. And then I got a phone call, or then on Sunday night they wanted to do a, hold on, I'm trying to think of the name, angiogram. John kept calling it an anagram. Angiogram. They wanted to do an angiogram on him and find out if he had a blockage, and if he did, they'd unblock it. And while they were doing the angiogram, so they did the angiogram on Monday. So they couldn't get him in on the Sunday, but they got him in on Monday. Around 11 a.m. they got him down there, and he was done and back out by I think it was about 4 o'clock-ish that he came out of surgery. And they had found a blockage. They put a stent in, and he was doing good. Now the same surgeon, this is the funny part, the same surgeon that had done and looked after Gloria, John's stepmom, was now performing the stuff on John's dad. So he knew who John's dad was. Then he knew that, Gloria was in Orangeville and that he really wanted to get to Orangeville. So Monday he had the stent put in, and we took him home, like within a couple hours of the stent procedure. We had him home, and not his home, but we had him to Aunt Jerry's place. So he spent that day, the rest of that afternoon, at Aunt Jerry's, and he was going home today, or not today, yesterday. No, today. He was going home today. Sorry. Yesterday we left and finally came home. Because yesterday they had to fix something on Gloria's car before they could drive it back to Orangeville. So Uncle Randy is going with John's dad back to Orangeville today, and going to stay with Dad in Orangeville for a couple weeks and see what happens with whether Gloria gets released or what happens with Gloria. But at least Dad won't be alone, and his brother will be there to help him out, look after him, make sure he's eating, make sure he's getting rest and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was my next interesting weekend. So it was he literally had a heart attack exactly 2 weeks to the day that his wife got admitted to the hospital. Literally. Because the weekend we went up to Aunt Jerry's, when we went up to Aunt Jerry's that weekend, Gloria got admitted. The next weekend, John went to Peterborough to visit Gloria at the hospital and drove back home. I stayed home because I had a bit of a cold starting. And then a week later, we go up again, and right on the 2-week bang, he was in having a heart attack. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting weekend. The family is now making a big joke that we should all just meet up at the Peterborough emergency room next time for a family visit instead of at anyone's house. And I told John's Aunt Jerry that if we come again another time and somebody ends up in the emergency room, then from then on they have to visit us, because I'm not coming there no more, because it just is hospital trips when we go there. So they have to come here. Yeah, so it was a big laugh. And I mean, everything turned out, positive and good and everything, but it was a pretty scary weekend. It really was. We all tried to find the humor in it, but yeah. So that was my weekend, and it is now Wednesday, and I finally just got home last night. So Yeah, we got home last night. So today I thought I'd make a quick video. Tomorrow I'll make my theme Thursday. I got a really cute little thing for St. Patrick's Day for the green for theme Thursday tomorrow. But today we're just going to do this outfit here. So, well, everyone, I thought I'd share my crazy story. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Hit that like if you liked this video. Hit that dislike if you didn't. But most of all, stay safe and smile and share a smile with a friend. Bye-bye.